quick look at these tweets. Some of them are news articles too, news headlines, etc. blah blah blah. But you come to a pretty quick conclusion that most people tend to think that music nowadays is kind of I mean, just take a look outside. You got climate change killing us slowly. No one can afford groceries. No one can afford to move out their parents' house. It kind of just seems like the whole world's going to shit anyway. Facebook feels like Fox News. TikTok's going band for band with fentanyl on who can addict the most people. Instagram just feels like storage for Twitter and TikTok. Twitter is just still rage bait content. By the way, it's not X. Fuck you, Elon. And Reddit is just Chicago murder porn.
You bring when it's time to go slide.
You gotta bring your pipe. That's not your Nike.
First.
So what's the vibe for 2025? I mean, everything just kind of feels like it's in the shitter, including what we're listening to. And then you always just find the answer somehow. You might be talking to a friend and you see something that kind of speaks to you. The problem isn't what's going on. The problem is you. Summertime 2024 was a pretty cool year for me. I was out on one of my last internships. I had to live in a completely different state. By the way, I was living in Baltimore, so that was fun. And you know, it was great, but there was also a dark cloud over most of it because I just kind of lost my connection to music. I mean, for most of my damn life, music has been involved in a majority of my time. If it's not playing in the background, I'm either talking about it with somebody or it just always been around in some way, shape, or form. So to just be so bored of my playlist and what I was listening to was kind of very odd for me. And then I decided to do something weird. You see, I don't really like albums. I don't listen to albums too much. I listen to it once, pick the songs I really like, and maybe I'll come back to it. So when I decided to give a Drake album another chance, which was honestly never mind, which by the way, the album still fucking sucks. I don't care what any of y'all say. When I give it another chance, I decided to look a little bit deeper into the samples he was using. So my favorite song on that album is Flights Booked. And it was while listening to this song, I heard something so beautiful. It changed my view of music.
Beside me, watching, needing, wanting.
Now, for most black people, I'll say black people in general, you probably heard this sample and you probably didn't think twice about it. You just kind of remembered that song from like maybe your childhood if you're Gen Z like me. I, however, bored as fuck playing Minecraft, decided I'm gonna dig deeper into it. I'm gonna figure out what the hell this sample is from. Allow me to introduce you to Floetry. These gals are from the UK, which means they know ball. Like literally, they met each other at a basketball game. Come on, man. Anyway, in 2002, these girls would drop what I can only call as a fucking masterpiece for New Year's. They dropped this shit January 1st. The album was Floetic, with this crack team, the producers and engineers deciding to sample the song, getting it.
What you know about this, nephew?
Now let me tell you this one thing, right? This album is one of the greatest things to ever touch my ears. This album is so beautiful that I was looking outside my window with my hand on the wall, just about to shed a tear. Actually, some songs in this album did make me cry, and I'm gonna admit it. I don't care, that shit was beautiful. When's the last time your boring ass could say that an album made you shed a fucking tear, nigga? When's the last time you could say that? Alright, disregarding that. This album is so beautiful, and yet there's an undertone of something darker and something violent in it that they don't say it, but they allude to it. They leave so much for interpretation. There's so much beauty, and at the same time you pick up on like dark undertones of what's actually going on. This album is incredible. Everybody should listen to it. I recommend this album to every single person that gets stale and they want to hear something new. This has to be in like my top 5 of greatest albums of all time by anybody in any genre. And yet these women introduced me to something even greater than their music. They introduced me to a whole new genre for me anyway. I always heard neo soul growing up, but I was a kid, I didn't really care for it. I wanted to listen to 50 Cent because I thought I was hard. But being a grown ass man now, look, man, neo soul is some of the most beautiful music I've ever heard in my life. I've been on, well, it's been a year now. I've been on a year-long like binge of neo soul just because it's so warm, it's so loving, it's so inviting. You can play it in like different conditions, man. I can play it at my job and not get side-eyed. Well, I get side-eyed, but that's because something else. Anyway, the whole point of this was to say, listen to something outside your bounds. And I'm not going to be that nigga that tells you, oh, just pick a genre and, just start listening to it. Maybe you find something. No, that's not how the fuck you do it. The most beautiful thing about hip-hop and rap and R&B is that it was not made in a vacuum. The whole idea was to take previous great songs and add something new to it and make it even more beautiful. That is the beauty of our genre that I care about so much. So the fact that you can take an older song, sample it, and add it to a new song and make a new spin on it, one, it makes your song seem familiar to older audiences, which they love. Two, it introduces younger audiences like myself to older songs. And three, it continues the beautiful cycle of music not being forgotten. I'm not gonna defend Drake. Drake is the copycat ninja and is probably gonna go down as pretty much of a scumbag when we find out what he was actually doing in his career. Kendrick called him out a little bit, but when we actually find out what he was actually doing, it's gonna be pretty bad. But I will give Drake credit for one thing. Drake has always used samples throughout his career to make his music better. And by using those samples and not having people forget what previously came, it gives the younger generations that grew up with Drake the ability to go back and listen to those older songs. And honestly, that is why music will never be boring. People always have the ability to go back and add new iterations to music. Music is forever evolving. And if you're in a point of time where you feel like it's pretty stale, it's time to go back in time. Music allows you to go back in time, find an entirely new genre you've never heard of, or you just don't have that much experience with, and you just get to explore it, and from there you'll find something even more beautiful. Thank you. Hey y'all, how you doing? My name's Trix. I'm one of the main voices that you hear at the Fools at Night. I appreciate you watching to the end. Thank you very much. You didn't have to do that, but you stayed, so I appreciate every single one of you. I'm not gonna tell you like, comment, subscribe. That's stupid. So instead, share this with a friend. Any friend. I don't really care. Just send it to somebody if you really liked it. This is a pretty important video to me. I try my best not to bullshit it. So hopefully it came out good. Yeah, we'll see. But hey man, I'm just happy to do this. Thank you. Have an amazing day. Keep chasing your dreams. Do something fun. And go for walks. Have a good one.